This is
The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
which
It's got Nicolas Cage, Jay Baruchel, Alfred Molina, Teresa Palmer, Monica Bellucci? Oh, that's the girl.
that's this is based off the Disney's Phantasm. It's basically
Fantasia.
whatever.
It makes a difference.
Yeah, I said Phantasm, didn't I?
Yeah.
That's a great horror movie franchise, not a
Disney.
Disney. Which that one.
It's the short from Fantasia where
Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse is... Was he got the hat?
Yeah.
And he makes all the...
Brooms and
the
mops.
brooms, and they're carrying the
Buckets.
buckets, and...
You're explaining this well.
I remember the music, sorry.
Okay. They actually redo that scene in this movie. This is a decent family movie. It's got a lot of awkward humor, which I'm not usually a fan of, but his name is Jay Baruchel. He does the voice of Hiccup on How to Train Your Dragon. He was also the lead in She's Out of Your League.
She's Out of Your League.
He was also in Knocked Up with Seth Rogen. He's one of Seth Rogen's crews. He's also in This Is the End. He basically plays this kind of awkward college student who's very intelligent, who comes in possession of a ring that doesn't give him magical powers, but
it lets him harness the magic with it. It's Merlin's ring.
Yeah, and he is the apprentice to
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage, who has this. This is the movie that Nicolas Cage has perfect, crazy Nick Cage face, and if I can find that one picture, I will put it right here. If not, I'm pointing at nothing. But yeah, it has perfect Nick Cage crazy face.
Yes.
It's a.
You don't like my shoes?
Yeah,
Old
these are
man
old man shoes. Cut to Nick Cage crazy face. So, it's about Nick Cage and Alfred Molina's character, Alfred Molina's character, I can't remember his name, but Nick Cage is Balthazar
and...
Horvath. Yeah.
That's it.
They were apprenticed along with another wizard to Merlin, the real Merlin, which Merlin cast a spell on them so they wouldn't age.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what happened was Nicolas Cage fell in love with the other wizard, whose name is... You're helpful. Her real name is Monica Bellucci.
Yeah, I don't remember. She's only in the movie for like 5 minutes.
At the end. Yeah, she, Horvath gets jealous, and that starts a war that lasts for...
Well, he basically is trying to let Morgana out and take over.
Yeah, Morgana is basically Merlin, except the dark form.
Yeah.
And she is trying to release all the dark wizards. Well, they end up trapping her, and unfortunately it traps the girl.
Mm-hmm. Because they did a...
She sucked her soul into her own body, and then they trapped her into a...
It looked like a Russian nesting doll.
That's exactly what it was. And they been fighting for thousands of years since then.
Mm-hmm. And what is it? Whoever could harness the power of Merlin's ring, basically is going to end it finally.
Yeah. So, guess who that is? The awkward, lengthy guy. This movie is pretty fun. I know I'm not describing it well.
The plot seems a little convoluted, but when you're actually watching the movie,
it's pretty easy.
You're into it. It's fun.
Yeah.
Family friendly.
Definitely, it's a Disney movie. They were hoping this would become a trilogy, but unfortunately, it just didn't do well in theaters. I really enjoy it. There's a lot of good fun, and Nick Cage being Nick Cage crazy is always fun. I'm a fan of his.
Mm-hmm. Well, and what I really liked is the car. What is it? The original Rolls Royce that he has.
Actually, I don't know who made it, but the car that Balthazar drives in this movie is actually Nick Cage's car, and it's the only one in existence. So when the production crew was using it, what they did is they just took pictures and recreated it. They built 3 of these things from the ground up so they could drive and wreck or modify how they needed, so they didn't actually have to use Nick Cage's real car, because it's one of a kind. It's the only one in the world. So it's an interesting movie. It's like she said, it's family friendly.
I know that it sounds like we're driving that home, but there's so many movies. I mean, look at Shrek. There's so many adult jokes in there that you're introducing that to kids so young. This is bypassing all that, and it's just fun.
Yeah. So I don't know what else to say about the movie. I mean, it's got good parts to it, and it's about Dave becoming, who is Jay Bechamel's character. Bechamel.
Dave.
Yeah, he's becoming, finally realizing who he is and becoming himself.
Yeah, more confidence in himself.
Yeah. As the training progresses. One of my favorite parts is when they first start the training, Balthazar gives him this little tiny book. I mean, it's like this big. And it's the, what did they call it? Something handbook.
Is it like the Codex or...
Yeah, it's the Codex. And he's holding this little book, and he goes, I thought it would be bigger, and he starts to...
He's like, oh, that's the pocket-size edition, so...
He starts unfolding it, and then by the end of it, he's holding this little book, and then Nick Cage grabs like the very top of the book. There's like I don't know what he did, or just used his fingers like this, and the book became about this thick, it was about this big, and the guy had to struggle to hold this thing up. It was pretty funny. So, yeah, if it happens to be on TV, it does come on TNT quite a bit, or Disney. Check it out. It's a lot more fun than you'd think.
Mm-hmm.
And Teresa Palmer's in it, who some of you may or may not know. She was also in Warm Bodies.
Warm Bodies.
What else is she in?
She was on I Am Number 4.
Yeah.
She's number 6.
And then she did a movie with Simon Pegg called Kill Me 3 Times, but I think that was only an English, like an England-produced movie, so it was only supposed to be released there.
Mm-hmm.
She's been in a lot of things, actually. I'm just not being able to think of them right now.
No, anyway, if you see her face and you get to know her, you're going to see her other places. She's one of those.
Yeah, it's like there's that guy in movies, she's that girl in movies.
Mm-hmm.
Or that woman, excuse me.
Girl, woman.
Anyway, yeah, that was The Sorcerer's Apprentice. Is that it?
That's it for this time.
Oh, yeah.
Episode number 5, we're done.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
You're wearing me out with all these quickies. Can't we just sit down and cuddle for a while?